Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching yet another episode of Lima Shenanigans of 1977. It's Tuesday night, and you know what that means. It's time for your WWE NXT Event Center report. And now here is the man to bring you that report, Mr. Eric M. Lima. Thank you very much, Mr. Announcer, sir. Well, hello there, everyone. Welcome to yet another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977, episode number 1683. What's going on? How's it going? Hope you guys are having a wonderful, blessed day. And we are. And we're just 2 weeks away from the launch of NXT in CW. Let's kick it off. Ava, the general manager of NXT, tried to oversee the NXT title contract signing between Ethan Page, the defending champion, against Trick Williams. But both men were talking, and Ben Page hits Trick with Ego's edge, and he went through the table. And Tony D'Angelo confronted Hammerstone about not beating Obafemi, and Hammerstone's like, why don't you take care of him yourself? And then Tony D'Angelo's, you know what, I should take care of you tonight, and next week. And Hammerstone goes, fine. So Ava was talking to Stevie Turner and Mr. Stone, complaining about if not one contract signed did not go right, and it's always Ethan Page's fault. But then Javon Evans and Cedric Alexander interrupt Ava to talk to her about something that they requested. I think it was Javon Evans, and Ava goes, "I'll think about it and I'll give you an answer." So we don't know what that was all about. Women's tag team action: Lyra Valkyria, the former NXT Women's Champ and current Raw superstar, teaming up with Tatum Paxley against Wendy Chu and TNA Knockout Rosemary. And Valkyria and Paxley picked up the victory over the crazy demonic duo. And I don't know what's up with Wendy Chu. She's been all happy and all sleepy, but now she's sleeping. She's trying to be the next Undertaker or something. I don't know. Anyways, Sarah Schreiber interviewed Ava and Trick Williams in the trainer's room, and Ava goes, this contract has not been signed yet, but by the end of the night, this contract will get signed. And then Trick Williams goes, I'm going to sign my contract, and I'm going to beat the heck out of Ethan Page once it's official. Then Charlie Dempsey was really proud to have Tavion Heights back to the No Quarter Catch crew from Japan. Tavion Heights says he's learned a lot in Japan, and also he has some great ideas. And then Charlie Dempsey goes, being in Japan will do that for you. And then Ren Sinclair decided to chime in, but then Charlie Dempsey goes, you know what? Go make an impact. Make us proud. And Ren Sinclair goes, I got an idea. I'm going to do it. Tony D'Angelo, the Don of NXT, took on Hammerstone from TNA. And Hammerstone won the match by countout because Tony D'Angelo was kind of walking away. He probably doesn't know what's up with him. In fact, even Luca Crucifino, Channing Stacks Lorenzo, and Adriana Rizzo don't know what's up with Tony D'Angelo. Meanwhile, Obafemi's watching the matchup, and his smile on his face says he's broken. Has Obafemi broken Tony D'Angelo? Well, we'll see. Meanwhile, while Vic and Booker were talking about the upcoming NXT events on CW, Zachary Wentz interrupts them and shows the footage from Dayton, Ohio last week, because they were supposed to get the tag team titles shot against Nathan Frazier and Axiom, but Wesley attacked Trey Miguel. And then Zachary Wentz says, you know what? We're going to finish this once and for all. I'll see you in 2 weeks. Then Ava was talking to Tyrese Halliburton, and then Tyrese goes, you know what? Tyrese Halliburton says, you know what, Ava? I'll make sure this contract gets signed. You let me handle it. And Ava goes, okay. Then Sarah Schreiber interviewed Fatal Influence, and meanwhile, JC Jane says she has Lola Vice. She's running her mouth about Lola Vice and Jada Parker. So that, and they say they run the NXT Women's Division. Oh, really? Who's the champion right now? So we'll see if that happens. Meanwhile, Lola Vice was watching the interview, and she was getting ready for her match against JC Jane. She was getting ticked off, and she goes, and Jada Parker, I don't need her help. And Jada Parker was like, I know you did not put my name in your mouth. And Lola Vice goes, listen, I don't need your help out there. You didn't need my help. I don't need your help in this matchup. I'll be JC Jane. And meanwhile, Eddie Thorpe against Ashante the Adonis. Now, Ashante the Adonis, what is up with this dude? He's trying to pick up chicks, mac on chicks. Seriously. Dude, get some wins, get a championship, and then the chicks come on later. Ashante the Adonis gives a female audience member a rose. And then during the matchup, he blows that same member, a female audience member, a kiss. Eddie Thorpe capitalized it, ends up pinning him, and Eddie Thorpe wins the matchup. Ashante the Adonis. Brother, you gotta get it together, man. You gotta get it together. Listen, I respect you because the fact is, you served our country, and you served it proud as a soldier of the United States of America. But dude, come on, you're an NXT superstar. You gotta focus, man. Don't worry about the ladies. That's a bonus for you. Just focus on winning matches, then the ladies will come to you. The women like winners there, Ashante. You lost, bro. Come on. Get it together, man. Eddie Thorpe seems to get his head, get it going, and he got it together. Man. Anyways, CM Punk arrives at the PC to talk about whatever it is he wants to talk about. So, Thea Hale and Riley Osborne, though, sitting in the Chase U classroom addressing Ridge Holland. I'd never seen Thea Hale so down. And she used to be happy, peppy, and full of energy. But Ridge Holland won't betray that trust, unfortunately. And so Riley Osborne says he's determined to fight Ridge Holland. When that match is going to happen, we don't know. Meanwhile, CM Punk addressing the NXT universe about being watching NXT, being a fan of some of the future superstars of tomorrow, and mention some of the superstars that were there. And then he's about to come up with the idea that you talked to Ava about. But then Roxanne Perez, of all people, interrupted him, the NXT Women's Champ. And then she says she's a big, she's a big fan. And then she goes, I finally realized that I should have been a Drew McIntyre fan. That is about as cold as you get, Roxanne Perez. Maybe Drew McIntyre's, I like this last. Whatever. So, as she's running her mouth on CM Punk and running her mouth about Julia comes out, interrupts both of them, and then Julia stared at Perez. You got the countdown is on, 2 weeks left. And then Roxanne Perez and as Julia walks away, Roxanne Perez wants to go clock her with a title, but CM Punk says, no. Save it for 2 weeks. Save it in 2 weeks. Save it in 2 weeks. And she kind of argued with Punk about that point as Julia walks away. Sarah Sharper interviewed Kaylani Jordan, who said that she'll issue an open challenge and saw how good Jordan Grace did it. And she said she might be thinking about it in the future. But then Ren Sinclair interrupted Kaylani Jordan and slapped her. Boy. Ugh. And then D'Angelo family was trying to get an explanation from Tony D'Angelo. He says, I'm afraid. All right, yeah, I said it. I'm afraid. This guy's a machine. You can't stop him. I don't know if I'm going to beat him for the title. I really don't know. And then he walked away and leaves Adriana Rizzo, Stax, and Luca to think about things. Meanwhile, tag team action, Javon Evans and Cedric Alexander went up against Miles Bourne and Tavion Heights of the No Quarter Catch crew. And during the matchup, though, Kaylani Jordan goes after Ren Sinclair, and that distracted both Miles Bourne and Tavion Heights long enough to get pinned by Javon Evans. And then there was a tweet by Randy Orton on X.com saying, you wanted your match, kid? I'll tell you what, you got your match in St. Louis, October the 8th on the CW. So Javon Evans, one-on-one with Randy Orton. Now, let's see, there's something about Javon Evans. Give me a second here. Let's go, is it Javon Evans? It was now, He's from Greensboro, North Carolina. He's only 20 years old, but now he has Javon Evans will be facing Randy Orton. I think Javon Evans must consider Randy Orton a hero or something like that. I don't know. So anyway, so that match is happening. Rich Holland responds to Ronnie Osborne, says next week I'm going to kick your sorry butt in. So that match is happening next week, and Brooks Jensen talked to Shawn Spears, and Shawn Spears go get him. You gonna come? Are you sure? You gonna come with it? I mean, sure. And so Shawn Spears was with him. Dion Lennox went one-on-one with Brooks Jensen. Jensen ended up winning the matchup. And then Wesley responds to Zachary Wentz, and he says, you know what? I didn't even tell you. I'm the one that did it. I'm the one that did it. I took out your insurance policy. It's going to be you and me in 2 weeks in a street fight. Meanwhile, A-Town Down Under was on X, and Grayson Waller and Austin Theory, a.k.a. Beavis and Butthead, decided to run their mouths about Fraxium and said, how about, I'll tell you what, you ain't doing anything in St. Louis? I'm not doing anything in St. Louis. How about this? 3 weeks, we challenge you for the NXT Tag Team titles. And Axiom and Nathan Frazier said, no problem. Let's make the match. So that match is happening in 3 weeks. Meanwhile, Lola Vice went one-on-one JC Jane and Lola Vice. Good Lord. Anyways, Lola Vice did pick up the victory against JC Jane. Meanwhile, Fallon Henley and Jasmine Nix attacked Vice after the match, but then Jada Parker cleans house of Fatal Influence while her and Vice were arguing as referees break it up. Adriana Rizzo had a talk with Tony D'Angelo, and Adriana Rizzo goes, you know what, I'm afraid too, but you got to face that fear, man. You got to get it together. How about this, have some special training? And Tony D'Angelo goes, when did you get to be so tough? I grew up in a family of fighters, and then they both hugged. So like Tony D'Angelo's going to get to work. If anybody could snap him out of it, would be Adriana Rizzo. He's the Don of NXT. He's got to act like one, man. Anyways, Tyrese Halliburton oversees the NXT contract signing. The fun part about it is both men talk trash. They signed the contract. But then Halliburton had a jab on the Orlando Magic. But then Ethan Page comparing himself to the Boston Celtics, which I thought that was hilarious. Because, I'm a Celtics fan. And he was wearing a green jacket, so it was like kind of perfect for that. But then, after both men made their case and argued, Tyrese Halliburton says, I have one more thing. And he has his teammates just in case things got out of control. When he goes, play the music. CM Punk comes back out. And this is a match that I wanted. This is a match I want to have. I was about to say my did before I was rudely interrupted. And he decided, and then he says, this match needs a special guest referee. CM Punk, in 2 weeks, when the title match goes down between Ethan Page and Trick Williams, will be the special guest referee for that matchup. And he says, and my rule is, you guys can beat the crap out of each other now. Both men find out until security and referees separate both of them to end NXT. Well, it's the second to last broadcast of NXT on the USA Network, but also the final NXT of Summer 2024. So, that is all the time we have on the show. Episode 1683. Got that write that one down. Is complete, and tomorrow, pull on the handle, the Bandit, one-arm Bandit for the Joker's Wild, and we'll continue the road to Grand Slam on the 18th. Tomorrow on AEW Dynamite. Speaking of which, I have a new AEW thumbnail. I'm going to work on the SmackDown one tomorrow. And I'm going to work on a new intro for the AEW Event Center segment videos I do. So, that's all the time we have on the show. Thank you for tuning in. And until the next episode comes rolling around, Mr. Announcer, take us home. That is all for today's episode. This is your announcer speaking for Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. A Big Beefy E, doing for Bob Saget Productions, and in association with a Raven Bofa Telepictures and Distribution. Thank you for watching today's episode. Tune in next time for another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. Goodbye for now.